I'm Ted Claypool. I am a partner with Womble Carlisle, but I'm also the chair of the Cyberspace Law Committee for the American Bar Association. And that's what this is here today. This is the winter working meeting, and our one major meeting that we have just to ourselves every year for the Cyberspace Law Committee at the American Bar Association. And so essentially this is a whole group of geek lawyers. I mean, we're all the cyber lawyers are here. We've got academics, we've got government lawyers, we've got in-house lawyers, we've got practicing lawyers, we have law students here, we have people for the regulators. So it's a good group, and we're learning about a lot of different subjects. But we always do a review of what's gone on in the last year, so that everybody has a starting point from last year to see what the new cases were, what the Supreme Court's been dealing with, where intellectual property is going, where internet law is going, where privacy law is going, where payments law is going, where anything that deals with the internet and anything that deals with software and computers and how they mix with business and the law. We have a lot of interesting talks about payments, including Apple Pay, new kinds of bill pay systems, and a lot on Bitcoin and where that's going and where the regulations are around it. We have a lot with identity management, how people are authenticated and what that means under the law. We have some people that we sponsor to go to the major ICANN meetings where the internet is regulated. And so they come back and talk to us about what's going on at those meetings, what the big issues are, if there are any concerns from the American business side of what we need to be worrying about. So we're going to hear from them this afternoon. We're talking about technology and litigation, especially how digitized documents are changing the way we litigate and how you manage that in litigation. We have a couple of book projects we're working on, including one that deals with focusing on data security in mergers and acquisition transactions. We've got another one that we're working on that deals with the Internet of Things. Plus we always write 6 or 7 law review articles that the ABA publishes every year, and we also have articles to go in Business Law Today, which is short articles, 3,000 words, no footnotes, basic stuff that that you can knock out on a weekend if there's something you're interested on. So it allows any of our members to get published if they want, because we're encouraging them to write. We appreciate it, and we make sure that it gets published. And a publication like the Business Lawyer is actually received by over 40,000 people, and so it gets you published and gets you noticed.
So here we are at the annual winter working meeting of the ABA Business Law Section Cyberspace Law Committee, and we meet every January. It's great to be back here for our annual get-together where we do some CLE and we do some working groups, and it's really great to see what we're doing here, because we always try to think of ways that we can promote the work of the committee online, get the word out about what we're doing, as well as, since we're a committee that looks at the internet, social media issues, to use some of those tools ourselves to help promote our work.
The winter working meeting of the Cyberspace Law Committee is unique in the whole of the ABA, because we actually get together and do 2 things that I think nobody else does or doesn't do as well. The first of those is a lot of CLE programming in a very specific channel of related interests in IP, in cyber law, and in things that interest people in both of those fields. And the second is we work on projects which, when we go to other meetings, we often don't have time to do, but that require a lot of face-to-face attention and effort. And so the project piece of it is the old-fashioned strong point of the winter working meeting, and the CLE is just gravy. At the meeting so far today, we have had presentations about the most significant intellectual property developments of the past year: patents, trademarks, copyrights, and the like. We've talked a lot about payments. we've talked a lot about cybersecurity issues. Each of those sub-fields is worth way more than a day by itself, but what we have is a group of pretty sophisticated people and a lot of fabulous newcomers from the United States and Canada and the UK and elsewhere who sort of nurture each other. And the mix of people, the mix of interests, the mix of topics makes for a very dynamic set of conversations. So one of the great things that the Cyberspace Law Committee has done is get people exposure in a variety of print media, books, magazines, online pieces, CLE presentations, and other kinds of presentations. So you can get something that's a really hot topic out there and get your name associated with it really fast. Bigger committees, committees that are less well managed, I think, than this one, it might take you years to get a spot on a program or a name in print. That's not true here. So it's a great place for a young professional to come and learn a lot and start. And then build.
I have been involved with the Cyberspace Committee probably since it started about 15 years ago. I started I am a commercial law professor, but so much of commercial law has been impacted by the changes in communication technology that the cyberspace issues are really interesting for all commercial lawyers. So in the Cyberspace Committee, I focus primarily on electronic contracts. So you asked me the importance of the committee and of events like this. Well, you know, any bar association involvement or any professional organization involvement, one, keeps you fresh on what's hot and new in your area of practice. My perspective as a professor is a little bit different, but I need to know what's new in practice, what the issues are, so I can communicate those things to my students. Events like this is a smaller meeting. This is not the big ABA annual meeting or spring meeting. So this is the kind of meeting where we expect everybody to go home with a project. I mean, it's a really convivial working environment. People get to know one another and people get to really get their hands dirty with interesting projects.
I first started coming to the committee in 2009 and really enjoyed the opportunity to learn, get into some interesting cutting-edge areas, and also I've really enjoyed the opportunity to make friends and with members of the committee. We've done some exciting and fun things together. We've gone sea kayaking before. We've had many memorable meals. It's a great environment to make friends with people and to have professional conversations. It really provides an opportunity to connect with other people who are thinking about some of the same problems of law and technology. It gives us an opportunity to share ideas, to test out some new ideas, to help grow our knowledge base, to learn about other areas and trends that are impacted in the cyberspace realm. So I find that very valuable.